What's up, guys? So, A Quiet Place is the new survival thriller directed by John Krasinski and also starring John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as parents of these children who have been part of this world where these creatures have taken over, pretty much. Now, it's not confirmed or mentioned if these creatures are just, taken over the area that, the state that they're living in. Have they taken over the whole country? I'm assuming they've taken over the country. I'm assuming they've taken over the world. So this is a survival story of how they are living and cooperating and surviving in this time. Now, when the film starts, it's very intriguing. I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but something happens. A very serious thing happens, which sets the rest of the movie into motion. And I feel, with something that happens in the first scene, it's like 89 days into this epidemic or whatever, and there's something that a character does that he shouldn't do. I mean, it's hard to explain without giving it away, but the character makes a choice. It's almost like he's being stubborn or just a stupid decision, really, and it sets the rest of the film into motion. It sets the film it gives the film its emotional core, really, because it sets the rest of our characters into the rest of the film and how they're sort of dealing with this circumstance that happened without giving anything away. And they can't really speak because every sound they make, if it's loud enough, these creatures will hear them and come to them and kill them. So they do sign language throughout the film, which makes sense why they know sign language, because one of their children is deaf. But that leads me to believe, is everybody else in this situation, are they just whispering really quietly, or does everybody know sign language? You know what I mean? I'm kind of thinking that everybody else is whispering quietly because we are led to believe that this is not the only family that's alive. There are others alive as well. I mean, that we kind of get alluded to in the film. It's not really explained. We don't really get a lot of answers. If you go into this movie expecting to find out what these creatures are, why they're there, what has been taken over, what part of the world has been taken over, has it been the whole world? It probably has, which they kind of give you the answer to, that no one else is going to save them. You know what I mean? Without giving anything away. But there's just certain things in the film that I wouldn't necessarily say don't add up, but it's just questions like that are not answered. And there's also some character choices in the movie that really don't make a lot of sense either. Not many. The one in the beginning of the film, as I mentioned, there's something that happens towards the middle of the movie which kind of sets the rest of the film into motion. And it involves a nail on the ground and how the nail sort of gets exposed without giving anything away. That's pretty much what I could say. How it happens, it's a little weird for the circumstances this character's in. And I think there's also something else that happens in the movie that is a little kind of, why would you do this? Because obviously when this happens, there is going to be a lot of noise because a certain something doesn't just stay quiet. It's hard for me to talk about it without spoiling things, but there's just certain things in the movie that are a little head-scratching. But it is very well directed by John Krasinski. He did a fantastic job directing this movie. I think the tension building is great. And it is an extremely entertaining movie. The movie's not boring. It runs for about an hour and a half. And I was always entertained, even though scratching my head a few times. There's not many of those moments, but when there are moments like that, it is kind of, for me, jarring. And all the acting is great as well. I think Emily Blunt is fantastic in the movie. John Krasinski is also giving a great performance in the movie. And all the child actors as well are doing a really good job. I just think at the end of the day, the film is an extremely entertaining film. It has a very good emotional core to it. But the reason we have that emotion and that emotional through line for the film, the reason why it happens in the beginning of the film is a little kind of strange. I feel like they could have done it in a different way. It's hard for me to talk about it without giving away spoilers. So, That's all I'm going to say about the movie. I liked it. I had fun with it. I'm going to give A Quiet Place 4 out of 5 stars. I really had a fun time with this movie. Guys, I want you to comment. Did you see the film? Do you plan on seeing it? What did you think about it? Also, you guys can subscribe to this channel. My review for Blockers is up on this channel now. My review for Ready Player One, Tomb Raider, Pacific Rim Uprising, all those reviews are up on this channel now. And upcoming reviews, we have Rampage coming up. We have Truth or Dare coming out at the end of the month. We have Avengers Infinity War, which I'm very excited about. And my next 4K Blu-ray unboxing, which will be up on this channel Tuesday the 17th, which will be for the post. For a chance to win a free digital copy code for the movie, all you have to do is check the video out when I post it for a chance to win, to see how you could win that. Guys, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links to those are in the description of this video. And that's about it. Thank you very much for watching my review for A Quiet Place. Over and out.